So needing to speak about your true feelings with soulmate, with the Five of Cups being the overall, absolutely. If you are unhappy, now is the time to deal with that. And the Five of Cups being the overall, emotional suffering and loss. There's too much focus on what's gone and not enough focus on what you still have. Again, you know, with the Five of Cups, the message has always been that not all is lost. You still have those two cups remaining. You know, crying over spilt milk is another thing that you hear with this card. But like emotional hurt that is like needing to be dealt with. In the past, the Wheel of the Year, the Wheel of Fortune. You know, immediately the Five of Cups is going to damper this a little bit. When you're looking at the Wheel of Fortune, generally it's about, you know, the turning of the wheel and good things happening, a turn of fortune, fate and destiny. But repeating cycles and being disappointed with a repeating cycle, like it seems like everything just keeps continuously happening the same way over and over again, I think is the best way to put it, because of the Five of Cups being there. In the present, wow. Wow. Oh, I always get jumpy when I see this one. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this plenty of times before, but when Judgment shows up, it's like, ooh, oh boy. And then they had to go and name it karma. But it's not a bad thing. Judgment or karma in the present, it's really about you making amends with the past. You know, it is what it is. It's time to move on now. It's like you're okay with it, or needing to try to be. Again, because of the Five of Cups. Something that happened in the past is coming back around. And I don't think that it's something that you want to feel right now, or that you want to deal with. And with karma, it's like trying to just make amends with it and move away from it now. You know, the other thing with karma is like the debt's been paid. There is no like karmic debt that has to be paid with this one. It's over. But I think the struggle is getting there. Especially if you feel like things are just like continuing in this loop and it's the same shit over and over again. Future conditions, the Ten of Cups. Now, you know, I'm hoping that with karma being there, that with the Five of Cups being the overall, we're getting over this now. Whatever emotional pain you've been through, whatever disappointment, whatever it is that you have lost, it's like with Judgment or karma, getting over this. But then when you're looking at the Ten of Cups at future conditions, it is about your overall happiness, right? But with you showing the Five of Cups, there's still issues. You know, but like I said, I'm hoping that, you know, we're working through this and getting to this place. You know, but we'll see coming out. You know, and I'm seeing this one a lot for the best path to follow. The Ace of Swords. So basically with the Ace of Swords, it's needing to speak the truth. And again, with soulmate, right? Speaking your own truth. Speaking the truth about how you feel. More specifically with the Five of Cups. But then not only that, but needing to get to a place of like mental clarity. And not being in the emotional dumps anymore. Now, the other thing, though, too, is accepting the truth, is what I get from this. Needing to accept that ultimate truth. But, like, still, especially with soulmate coming through, needing to speak it. In your environment, the Hangman. Leo. Now, you know, with the Hangman being there, here's what I feel like. With the Wheel of Fortune being the past coming through, and if you're looking at things just repeating itself over and over again, you know, with the Hangman, it's like being caught in that perpetual limbo, but then also like waiting for this to come around again, but then seeing it differently. And again, with karma being attached to it, man, that's powerful. But like it needed to come full circle. Whatever you're dealing with here, it's like, whatever emotional disappointment or pain that you've been through, it is coming back around in a way where I think that you've been waiting for this to happen. Now it's time for you to get to a place where it's done, it's over with, it's cleared up, you've made amends with it. It's time for you to move on and rejoice, right? And get back to that place of ultimate happiness. But honestly, I feel like For some of you, there just may be general unhappiness within the home. But, again, with the hangman being there, like I said, it's like you've waited for this and it's come back around again. And I think it's still just as painful as what it was before emotionally. But like I said, I'm hoping that, we're getting out of this now and you accepting the truth of it. Yeah. Wow, Leo. Wow. The hell. The world and your hopes and fears. It is big, like big completion that needs to happen. With the world, you're talking about the successful completion, not abandoning things, feeling like you have accomplished something huge in your life and watching it come to a nice close and then moving on to a new beginning. And it's like you're needing this. You're needing to get closure on something. You're needing it to be completed out in a way that you're okay and that you're good with it. Instead of being stuck in this state of limbo and watching things just repeat themselves over and over. But like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune, it is an opportunity for better things to happen. And looking at karma underneath it, yeah. And ultimately, you do come out with the 10 of Cups. But yeah, with the world being hopes and fears, definitely needing to get closure on something for good. For good. Oh, and then coming out. Why? Why, Leo? The 5 of Swords. Ugh. I wonder if some of you are like in a really tough spot emotionally. You're not getting to this place of overall happiness. And it's like being caught up in like extreme miscommunication and arguments with the 5 of Swords, and especially within the home with the 10 of Cups being there. And it bothers me because I think that, you've been in this state for like far too long. And it just like needs to be over with. But maybe the only way to get there is, again, for you to just speak up. I'd like to think that you get to a place here where you try to start working things out. But okay, so first of all, with the King of Cups, right? Water sign. Possibly for some of you. For others, it's just needing to be in control of your emotions, especially if you're in arguments right now. But like I said, like home, family situations, arguments happening, miscommunication. And then with the 2 of Cups, right, the relationship. And this could just be like a family relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic one here, but I think that you get to a point where you're tired of going through the same thing over and over and over again. But do you push it to a place where maybe you're not exactly saying the right thing? Or I shouldn't say that. You're not saying the truth. You're not saying the truth that you need to speak. And instead, in this endless loop of arguments and misunderstandings. Now, with the 3 of Pentacles, I worry a little bit because of the 5 of Swords being, the main theme here. With the 3 of Pentacles, needing to work with someone, needing to work through these things or trying to work through these things. But like I said, I worry that you get to a place that you kind of like don't want to do it anymore because of the 5 of Swords. But definitely you're not happy. It's like you're not happy right now. There's miscommunication. There's misunderstandings. There's arguments happening. You're not really speaking up. And again, like needing to get to a place here where you just start to speak your own truth and be a little bit more honest about the way that you feel, especially with the King of Cups being there. But like I said, for some of you, it may be dealing with the water sign and like the connection is there with the 2 of Cups. And there may be a willingness here to work on getting to this place of happiness. But if you're not being honest about your disappointment or your hurt feelings, then, that 5 of Swords is what you're going to continue to see over and over and over again. And it makes sense with the Hangman being in your environment and being stuck with this. And it's like you're just trying to get past this. I think that you've reviewed this so many times with karma. You just need it to be done looking at the world. Whatever arguments and disagreements and whatever difficulties you're facing within your home life, with a relationship, You know, like I said, whether it's romantic or family, it's like, man, you know, really needing this to just be done. I mean, there's still that potential, though, you know, looking at it where you can get to a place of understanding. But again, with the Five of Swords, it's you're not seeing eye to eye with the Two of Cups being there. And somebody may be being a little bit overly emotional, though, too, with the King of Cups. But I feel like you need to be more in control of your own emotions. And again, you need to speak the truth about how you feel. And again, that's because of the Five of Cups being the overall on this. You know, and this is only going to be for some of you. But like, again, with like soulmate, like I keep going back to this, like needing to just be honest about your true feelings. Especially if you're wanting closure in an unhappy situation. Instead of being stuck in this state of limbo and watching things just repeat themselves over and over and over again. Damn it, Leo. You know, and with supernatural being there, it may be time for you to start tapping into, you know, your intuition on things and trusting that, you know, it may be more powerful than you realize, especially when there's a need for you to start really being honest with the way that you feel. All right, Leo, let's take a look at your love lives. So for those of you who are single, needing to let go of control issues and trust, needing to trust, and that's basically what the Ace of Swords is. I mean, yeah, you know, you're looking at bondage and some kinky sex, sure, but it is about trust. Now, if you have somebody coming through, you know, you can't control the situation here. You need to just trust that things are going to unfold naturally, right? Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, stay optimistic about your love life. With the Chariot, I almost feel like it's advice to you. It's known as a sneak attack. But the thing is, you know, you have the two here going in separate directions. So, you know, I think that it's one of those things where you may not be expecting this, but your partner may come through in a surprising way and like wanting to get the connection going back in the right direction. You know, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, but there's a need for you to stay optimistic despite the fact that maybe things are not going so well. You know, and like I said, the Ten of Cups is still there. It's still there. And then you have the Three of Pentacles with it, which to me is suggesting that, you know, especially with the Two of Cups, that there may be a willingness to get things going in a better direction as far as relationships go. But Leo, like, whatever disappointments you're facing right now and whatever difficult emotions you're feeling, the only way that I feel like you're going to break through this and stop being in the state of limbo here is to just be honest. Be honest and speak up about how you feel and how you see things, especially if you see things like in a repeating pattern, you know, and seeing these like arguments and disagreements happening over and over and over again. All right, Leo. So again, going back to the Oracle cards, Supernatural and Soulmate, I think that maybe some of you aren't trusting in your own intuition when it comes to needing to be more honest about your own feelings. Because the Five of Cups being the overall to me is saying that some of you are really upset, really disappointed, dealing with some emotional suffering. I think that you're trying to get out of this, but I think that things just seem to be appearing the same way over and over and over again. Now, like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune, there is an opportunity for something better to happen. And I do think that some of you have been waiting for this opportunity. But I also feel like you're stuck in that like limbo state, being bound to this situation, like trying really hard here to close it out, to get closure on it. It is what it is and move on from it. Like there is no more debt to be paid here. Especially if we're talking about your overall happiness, especially within relationships or within the home. Now, like I said, you know, and it seems to be a repeating thing here. There just needs to be more honesty on your part about how you're feeling. You just need to come out and speak your truth. You know, and then accept the truth of a situation, though, also, especially if you feel like it's just happening over and over and over again. You know, maybe it's not going to change. But I still get this I mean, between the two, you know, and then looking at this as the overall, yeah, we need closure on this. Absolute, complete closure. And you need to be okay with what is. Now, like I said, with the Five of Swords coming out and then looking at the Ten of Cups, extreme miscommunication here with the intent to hurt. The Five of Swords is known as, you know, one-upmanship. It's the hollow victory. Somebody may feel like they have won, but at what cost? You know, it's somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want, even if it means hurting other people or alienating other people. But I just think it's an inability to, like, have the truth. Now, you may be speaking the truth and somebody else may not like it. Now, as far as that goes, when you're looking at the King of Cups, I worry a little bit about somebody being a little bit too over-emotional or not being in control of their emotions. Or maybe there are some arguments as far as, you know, what is going on with this person. But like I said, with the Two of Cups and then looking at the Three, it's like there's still a want here, I feel like, to get things going back in a better direction. Because, you know, the Two of Cups, even if you're not seeing eye to eye, at one time there was a connection. And with the Three of Pentacles, again, it's really about whether or not you and the other person are willing to work together to get things back on track. Because again, with the Ten of Cups, it's like there was happiness at one point, absolute happiness, and there's no reason why it still can't be. But the communication is way off. Way off. Now, as far as relationships go, for those of you who are single, you know, if you end up in a situation here where a relationship ends, you need to let go of whatever issues may have happened here and let things just kind of happen, and you need to trust with the Ace of Swords. Especially if you've been through a difficult relationship and then you have somebody else coming through, you have to just trust and let things happen, right? Don't force anything. Don't feel like you need to control anything. And certainly don't get into a situation where you feel like you're being controlled. But I think it's more so about you just needing to trust in the process. Now, as far as relationships go, interesting. Stay optimistic. And then you have the Chariot. So with the Chariot, like I said, we refer to that as the sneak attack. So you may get a surprise from your partner here where they may like come back through and start expressing the way that they feel and trying to get things going in the right direction as far as the relationships go. I would just be careful, Leo, about whatever conversations you get into, especially within partnerships or family members, because things can go wrong very quickly. And the only way to clear this up and get back to a place where you're seeing eye to eye with your partner and wanting to work on the situation is by speaking your truth. And I seriously, like, really needing to be more honest about how you feel. You know, and I think that that's the only way that you're going to break this cycle and get to a place of closure.